So you're thinking about moving to Tempe, Arizona, but you want to know the good, the bad before you do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to share with you the pros and the cons of living in Tempe, Arizona. And don't go anywhere, because right at the end, we're revealing a con that is seldom talked about, and it's something you're going to definitely want to know before moving here. So buckle up and let's dive right in to the heart of Tempe. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good, the bad, the everything in between of living in Phoenix, Arizona and surrounding areas like Tempe, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the very first to know about the current market in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Greta, and my partners Christina and Ann and I, we just love helping people like you make their move here. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out to us, shoot us a text, give us a call or an email. All of our contact information is down below. We would be happy to help you make a smooth move to Phoenix or Tempe, as we're talking about in today's video.
Here we go.
All right, let's go.
Pros and cons into Tempe, Arizona. And for those of you that may have heard that term, you may recognize it as the home to Arizona State University, or ASU. And it is the main campus with over 100,000 students. And as one of my sons just graduated from there, the graduation ceremony was, wow. We were there quite a bit reading names. So anyway, fantastic town. I don't know where to stop with pros. You guys are going to just have to stop me. But I'm going to kick it off with number one, which is the location and what it provides in being right in the center, in the heart of the valley. You're right. So it's a college town, but it's a suburb. And it's right next to Phoenix. It's right next to Old Town Scottsdale. It's got a Tempe Town Lake, which used to be a year-long river that flowed through the valley. And we used to take ferries across it to get across before 1911, when Lake Roosevelt was created, the dam. So then they were able to create roads across it. Well, 10 years ago, I can't even remember, wasn't that long ago, we dammed it up on either side and created a lake right there. And so now you have all of these condominiums and businesses that are right on Tempe Town Lake, right next to ASU. You can sail on it. You can row on it. They have rowing teams out there. You can do triathlons, and the Ironman, based out of the valley, is based out of Tempe, and they use that Tempe Town Lake for their swim. And I've actually done a triathlon in there. It's awesome. So, Tempe Town Lake, you have a place right next to it, a park, where they have all these events and concerts. Almost every other weekend they've got something going on down there. Mill Street with, how many restaurants? Hundreds of restaurants right next to ASU. Okay, just stop me, because I just think
one at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really cool city where you have access to everything.
Yeah,
and it's just a fun city. There.
It is, and you've spent a lot of time there.
And I grew up there. So I grew up in Glendale, Arizona, but I was dropped off at my cousin's house.
And grandparents.
Within Tempe, and I grew up roaming the streets, walking, biking, back when you did that, and came home left in the morning and came home at night.
And your uncle still lives there.
And my uncle still lives there.
In the original house.
In the original house, yes, he does.
Yeah. Well, the Tempe Town Lake, there are, it was created, correct me if I'm wrong, for several reasons. One, for recreational, one for flood control, and economic vitality for the city. There is, after they created that, there's been more than 40,000, or there are at this point, more than 40,000 people working in that area.
Oh, Tempe Town Marketplace right there with all the shopping.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's been like I think $2 billion increase in the economy of Tempe since Tempe Town Lake was
Way to go.
created.
You don't normally swim in it, just
No,
so you
no
know. It's
swimming.
not a swimming lake.
Boating and kayaking.
Boating, kayaking. You do see little sailing, 12-foot sailing. You take sailing lessons out on the lake.
Yeah.
I have a
Okay,
second.
go for it.
Go for
Well, and because it's ASU, they have the theaters, the Gamage Theater, and I grew up going to that theater. I've taken my kids to that theater. Broadway
theater.
plays.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stupendous. It's a theater built like in the 1960s, so it's very grand and beautiful.
By Frank Lloyd Wright.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's the last building he ever designed, and he did not live to see it
not live
finished.
to
There you go. And our uncle, my uncle, actually, one of his symphonies was performed there at
I
Gamage.
didn't know that.
So yes, he wrote it at 12 years old. So there you have it. So yes, we're many generations in Arizona. I have a love for that campus, and I wanna veer into. I know what one of your pros is transportation, because what ASU gives, which is
Oh, yeah.
Innovation. It is one of the most innovative universities in the nation, and it contributes that innovation to the city and the valley. One of the things that it's contributed to is, I don't know, some people maybe haven't heard of it, is the Waymo, and it is the driverless car or taxi system. And you've probably seen commercials. I think they even had one on the Super Bowl this year.
I think they did.
So Waymo is testing their product here in the valley. It's partly due to the innovation at ASU.
And I was going to say, from a transportation perspective, ASU was a part of this, was getting the tram system up and running. Because ASU is one of the largest universities in the United States, they have not one, not two, not three, not four, I think 4 or 5 campuses just in the valley. And so the tram system takes you to their second main campus, downtown Phoenix. And so a lot of the kids will hop on there to go to a
Yep.
class and then come back. And we've used it to park at where my husband used to work, right off the tram. We park there and take it to go to the airport. It goes right through the airport. So there's some really
Yep.
advantageous things to
yeah.
the tram system that it brings to the valley.
They have several transportation. Tempe, while Tempe is still a car-dependent city, they do have one of the heavier use of public transportation than any of the other suburbs in the area. They have several options. They have the tram, they have the bus system, they have a shuttle service that runs. So there are several
the Flash?
options. The Flash is a free, let me look it up so I don't get it wrong, free local area shuttle that serves northern Tempe around the university. They also had the Orbit that has 5 free shuttle routes near ASU that operate 7 days a week. And they also have the most city bus routes that operate, I don't know, every 15 minutes. So they have the most bus routes
Yeah,
in the area,
yeah.
in the valley.
Well, because it's a college town, it's the perks of living in a college town. It's very vibrant. It's very diverse because of all international students there, and diverse
In restaurants,
in
because of the
restaurants.
internet.
A lot of things to do. A lot of events happening, music events, sporting events. Well, you've got the ASU
Yeah, if you're a
sports.
college
College.
sports person, you're
Yeah.
set to go.
Yeah.
And it is close. It's a small. It's only 40 square miles, population 180,000. And
Tempe.
Tempe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I was surprised, area-wise, how
yeah,
small, it was.
It's small. So obviously it's built out. The age of the homes, and they go back all the way back to 1915. But they stopped building about 2019. So there's no more places to build unless it's a townhome. And the fact the newest stuff that has been built, they're just infill projects that maybe took
Okay.
over a lot, and now they're townhomes.
I'll tell you about a new community that they just built. Maybe you don't know. In Tempe. Now, it's a lease community, so it's not for purchase. And that's going to tie back into the innovation of Tempe and ASU. I'm talking about, it's called Culdesac Tempe, and it is a
something like that.
driverless community.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating. It's a driverless community. It's the first in the nation, and contractually, in your lease, you cannot bring a car within a quarter mile of this community. And as part of your lease, you get a free e-bike and discount public transportation. And it's sort of a test
Test run.
Yeah, a test run of driverless
Yeah.
or carless communities. We'll see how it goes. And
Okay.
again, it's all leased communities, but a lot of that area is all leased buildings.
I would say that price point, the median price is $530,000. You can get there's 25 homes in right now currently for sale in the 400s. You have 71 homes under 750, between 750 and 400, and then only 31 above 750. So there aren't many homes for sale. There's a lot of condominiums because they're building the condominiums on that Tempe Town Lake that we talked about,
When they're pretty.
and
They're
around
beautiful.
ASU. But there's no other place to build single-family homes. So it is a captured market that. But if you want in, it's still affordable.
It's still
Yeah.
affordable.
I think it's still. I think the price per square foot on average is $300. We talked about Tempe Town Lake with the sailing and the running. They have paths around it that you can run. The Ironman, the cycling. But there's also South Mountain. You are 5 minutes from South Mountain, a very famous mountain biking and hiking place to go, and a lot of people do go. There's many trailheads that you can start out on, just 5-10 minutes from Tempe. You also have a cycling path, running path, walking path. That's right, it's the Greenbelt. The Greenbelt that we talked about in Scottsdale, that's 18 miles long.
Check out our Scottsdale.
That's right,
blog.
and it connects right to Tempe Town Lake. And so you can catch it in Tempe, go all the way north 18 miles, turn around and come all the way back to the Tempe Town Lake area. So I love that. And I've actually done it. I've done that ride.
The whole
route, 36 miles.
Wow.
You got to go all the way down to Tempe Town Lake, have a glass of iced tea, and head back up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And so Tempe, and then you've got Papago Park, you've got the Botanical Gardens, you've got the zoo. Even though it's right inside of Phoenix, right next to Tempe, it's right there.
Oh, yeah.
It is 2 minutes away, 5 minutes really. But you've got the Museum of Flame for the kids. It's all fire engines. I've taken my kids there. That is really, really cool. And then you've got Old Town, Scottsdale. So if Mill Street's not enough restaurants for you, you've got Old Town 5
Right
minutes
next door.
away
Right next
with
door.
another 100 restaurants.
yeah.
So it's really the bomb. I think Tempe is like the hidden little secret bomb.
And just because it's a university town doesn't mean it's not a good family town.
Oh, no.
Because of all the outdoor stuff to do, they have a huge Kiwanis Park right there in Tempe with so much to do there. There's lake and fishing and tennis and volleyball and basketball and baseball. There's a splash pad there. There's a Legoland in Tempe.
Oh,
Really?
hey,
So-
that's at Arizona Mills Mall.
Okay.
Arizona Mills Mall has over 100 shops. They have 300 events there. I don't know what they do.
IKEA is too?
No, it's not where the IKEA is, which is down the street in Tempe. But it's not. IKEA's not far. It's like 2 miles.
There you go.
It's 2 miles.
Yeah.
But you have the Rainforest Cafe. You have Legoland. If your kids are into Legos, or if you're into Legos, Legos are
You
good
don't
up
have
to
to
99 years old. They have a Sea Life Arizona
Yeah, the
Aquarium. I've
aquarium's
been there
there.
with the kids, and they've got an IMAX. So that's Arizona Mills Mall, Mill Street area with all of its
Oh, yeah.
shops.
Yeah.
So.
And Tempe Marketplace.
And Tempe,
And Tempe
Marketplace,
Marketplace.
which is all the big box stores, outdoor, great restaurants.
yeah.
What else is there, girls?
Dave and Buster's.
Dave
Right?
and
That's the
Buster's.
name of it.
And a theater there, I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
they have the IMAX
They have a
theaters
theater
there.
there.
No, it's Harkins.
Harkins Theater. Harkins Theater.
Okay, you're moving to Tempe, I can tell, because you're just gonna love it there.
So are there any cons?
Well, you know I have 3 because Okay, well, I have to say noise level and the busyness
It is busy.
because it has
It's a
all of
campus
those great
life.
things.
It's a campus life.
It is campus life, and if that's not for you, if that's going to bother you, now the population is 180,000, but what is it when school is in session? When those 75,000 students are there, it's a lot. And like you said, it's not a big town, and so particularly in that northern end, listen. traffic is heavy. So if that's
and I avoid it. I mean, there's no question that if I don't have to go near ASU, I don't go near ASU because of the traffic in and out. No doubt.
So
no doubt.
But
the south side of Tempe, the pro is that's where a lot
and
of
maybe
the
you
family
like
live.
that hustle and bustle.
But
of,
if you
of
don't,
the north end. Yep.
you don't.
But
You need
that
to
can
know
be
that
fun.
that's there and it's not for you.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
was.
And it gets hot in Tempe, just like everywhere else. Every other suburb in the Phoenix Valley. You got to be aware of that. It does get very hot.
Am I really the only one that wrote ponds down? Because I'll rattle right through.
Yeah, go through the next one.
I'm gonna talk about crime. Tempe has a higher. I'm not gonna say it's a high crime area. I'm not gonna say that, but it does have a higher crime rate. In fact, it gets a C rating by niche.com.
Okay.
And when you look at the crime maps, it's all right there in North Tempe by the university. It's mostly theft. But you just need to know about it. It's there. And then my little known or little talked about con is going to be the impact of development. Because I think Tempe tends to be maybe one of our older suburbs in the valley. You're now at that phase where you're having redevelopment or some regentrification, but some challenges that come with that, right? It brings vitality, which is great, and some resurgence, but it also can price out long-time residents and those mom and pop businesses.
It's a very small town at 40 square miles, and ASU takes 1 square mile. I looked that up. It doesn't take a big percentage of it.
Some of the character leaves when you start to have that regentrification, and it just that's all. It's just something that happens, and it's not unique to Tempe necessarily. It's just that's where Tempe's at in its life cycle of its city.
Still a great place to live.
It
Still
is.
a great place to live.
Give us a call.
We hope you found this tour of Tempe informative and engaging. If you've lived in Tempe or currently live here, please comment below, share your thoughts about the city and any tips or insights for those considering moving here. Maybe you know some hidden gems that we didn't cover. Maybe you found this video helpful. We sure would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Also, check out our full vlog tour of Tempe and our detailed map tour where we take you through everything you need to know about the area. These are 2 great resources to watch next. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you around town soon.